that the fight will happen.
Yes, for precisely the reasons that Dana White, he's transparent there. Yes, there are 100 million plus reasons why the fight will happen. The invisible hand will make this fight happen. The marketplace is demanding it. There's tremendous demand for combat sports generally. People like to see big fights. It's always been that way. And right now, in boxing, because of various promotional network issues, some of the top fighters being overseas, etc., the American public, at the very least, hasn't had a big fight to rally around since what? Mayweather-Pacquiao, which turned out to be a dud. So we're kind of figuring out a way here to get two characters in the ring, that we know. We need to know those characters. We know these two. They're about the same size. Okay, so one's an MMA fighter, one's a boxer. We'll figure that out. Let's not pay too much attention to that detail and just get him in the ring. That's what the marketplace is saying. And so Stephen A., with all that money on the line, Dana White recognizes the UFC stands to make money. Obviously, Conor McGregor, his biggest payday. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather, he wouldn't be coming out of retirement. Yeah, it's going to happen. Too much money on the line for it not to.
Well, I agree with you. I think it's going to happen for this reason more so than anything else. Floyd seems to want it. And like you said, like he always says, he's his own man. He's his own boss. He doesn't have a contract with the UFC or boxing for that matter. He can do what he wants to do. And as a result, if he wants the fight to happen, it's going to happen. He is not interested in fighting Pacquiao again, not interested in fighting Canelo Alvarez again. He's not interested in those fights. He wants to make money. He's personally told me that he's not fighting for less than 9 figures. Any fight that he takes from now on in his career will be minimum 9 figures. Conor McGregor is somebody that can deliver those goods. And I think that the one thing that has to be recognized more so than anything else, it's not just that Floyd wants to fight because of the fact that he's going to make the money. It's how he's going to make the money. It's not just that he considered Conor McGregor easy work. What Floyd loves about a fight with Conor McGregor, Floyd is one of those individuals, Max, that feels at times he drained himself with promotional duties as well as having to fight. Now, against Conor McGregor, he's not going to have to worry about that at all. It'll be the first time in Floyd's eyes that he's actually stepping in the ring with a guy who did just as much to market a fight as Floyd himself.
Let me tell you why that's a great point, Stephen A.
Not more, and that's what he loves.
That's right on the money, because Floyd always has seen the fight game as an overall business. Part of that business is actually the training and the fighting, but a big part of it is the promotion of it all. Of course, it is a business. And for the first time in Floyd's career, he has a dance partner who's going to carry half the load. He always has to carry most of the promotion. That's work. And that's one of the reasons he gets paid better than the other guy. Here he has someone who will do his share of the work and actually build the fight up. It's also, the fight game has always been about, from a business point of view, maximizing reward while minimizing risk. This fight is a huge reward, virtually zero risk proposition for both participants. For Floyd, he's in with a guy who has no chance to beat him. It's easy work in that respect, who will carry half the promotion, as you say, and he's going to make 100 million plus. From Conor McGregor's point of view and the UFC's point of view, huge payday. Conor McGregor has never seen anything like the money he'll make in this fight. The UFC also gets paid. And what's the risk? That he's going to lose to someone in their sport? So what? He gets beaten by Floyd Mayweather, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world when last seen in action, and he's not a boxer? What are you really risking? You're not really risking anything to your reputation either way. So it's a huge reward, tiny risk fight for both guys.
It also needs to be mentioned that, Floyd's got a lot of resentment for some of those fighters that he fought against because of the promotional obligations that he had to shoulder. Begging them to say something and do things that are compelling that would uplift the promotional and marketing part of the fights. He always felt that he had to carry the load himself, and it absolutely disgusted him. And so that makes his affection for a Conor McGregor fight even more palpable, because as we've been saying, we know that Conor McGregor is not going to come up short in that regard. But at the same time, I think we need to get into what Dana White had to say last night, because he did say what I found to be some relatively compelling things, Molly.
Yeah, let's discuss it. Let's get into the actual fight. So here's Dana on Floyd's weaknesses and why Conor wouldn't get KO'd.
Conor McGregor is huge, and, he's 27 years old. He's in the prime of his career. Floyd is 40. Floyd always had problems with southpaws. Conor is a southpaw, and Conor hits hard. When he hits people, they go. Floyd's definitely not knocking him out. That's for sure. So I'm not saying that Conor would win this boxing match, but it sure makes it interesting.
Stephen A., do you agree with Dana here that Floyd wouldn't be able to knock out Conor?
No, I don't. And the reason why I don't believe that is because I watched Conor lose to Nate Diaz first go round. I know that you watch your UFC, Molly.
Yep.
If you recall, before Nate Diaz had him in the chokehold and ultimately made him tap out, he hit him with a right. And stunned Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor took a punch, and that punch was what hurt him before he ultimately was gotten to the ground and Nate Diaz finished him off. The point that I'm trying to make is that the accumulation of punches, assuming that Floyd is game to inflict that kind of punishment, I don't think Conor McGregor has the skill set to offset that. What I will give credit to Dana White, however, Max, is this. When we watch Conor McGregor fight, if he hits you, you usually fall.
Yep.
And unlike and Nate Diaz was at 170 when they fought the first go round. The difference is when you're in the UFC, you fall down, and even though you fall down, okay, you can stay on the ground, and ultimately he's got to come get you or what have you. In boxing, all you need is to stun somebody for 10 seconds. And if you do that, you've won the fight. And so, everybody don't have to get knocked out like Curtis Stevens just got knocked out by Lemieux this past weekend, Max. It doesn't have to be like that. All you got to do is drop a dude, stun him, have him a bit wheezy for 10 seconds. And when you consider it from that perspective, I will agree with Dana White. It has me saying, oh, I want to see this because it's basically Floyd's mastery. And the only thing you're wondering is, can Conor catch him?
Okay, let me just clear some stuff up for people who may be wondering. The answer is Conor has a 0% chance to catch Floyd Mayweather. If Conor McGregor is the greatest natural boxer who ever lived by far, forget Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali, let's just assume it's Conor McGregor. He has a 0% chance to catch Floyd Mayweather. This is his professional boxing debut. He's fighting the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world when last seen in action, and one of the greatest pure boxers of all time. The lack of respect for the discipline is astonishing to me. People just think they're getting in and just wildly throwing punches. Floyd's been doing this since he's a baby. Conor McGregor's wanted first professional fight. You're going to beat Floyd Mayweather? It's absurd. Now, let me explain about the knockout, people. The reason that my good friend Dana White is incorrect about this. Well, Conor McGregor takes a good punch. He has a good chin, in other words. You know who has a good chin? Fighters who don't get hit on the chin. Those are the ones who have a good chin. Floyd Mayweather will be able to hit Conor McGregor wherever he pleases, as much as he pleases, as soon as the opening bell rings. Conor McGregor has no chance to go the distance with Floyd Mayweather should Floyd Mayweather decide to press for a knockout. Floyd may want to put on a show. In fact, I presume, my presumption is Floyd Mayweather will put on a show for a round or two and then take McGregor out. He could knock out Conor McGregor at any moment in that fight, whenever and however he pleases, with either hand. No knock against Conor McGregor's fighting ability. It is sky high, and his natural boxing talent may be amazing. But it takes years to develop a competent 10-round professional boxer, and then years more to develop someone who could actually compete with Floyd. And by the way, Floyd would go 30 seconds in an octagon with Conor McGregor. Dana's right about that, but McGregor could never go the distance with Floyd in a boxing ring if Floyd chooses to take him out.
I'm going to do something with you on this particular subject that you should do with me every day when it comes to the sport of basketball. I am going to defer. Okay, but let me say, I would like you. I want to throw this by you, Max.
So you're going to say, teach me something.
No.
Okay.
I need you to educate me because I deferred. Okay. Listen, I know my boxing, but I defer to the man.
Okay.
I'm deferring to you. I need your help. I'm serious. I need your help with this. You say 0 chance. You know what I think about Max? I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him because he's a professional and I know how big time he can be at times. But McGregor can't imitate Madonna, who caught Floyd and stunned him. He can't imitate, and I to a lesser degree because I know Sugar Shane Mosley was no joke, but Floyd fought him in the latter part of his career.
He can't imitate Mosley. He
I
can't.
know that,
Maybe
not Mosley.
Maidana, and that's a good point.
Maidana.
What you're saying is
Yeah.
Maidana's a big puncher, and because he
And
is
slow.
awkward,
And
because
slow.
Maidana
And awkward.
right, because Maidana's punches weren't coming from where you'd expect, his awkwardness actually gave him a better chance to land because Floyd's defense is based on blocking classical punches. And if you come in from an odd angle, the defense isn't set that way. And so you think maybe that gives McGregor opportunity. It does not. Look, McGregor would have to be if he was much younger and this was a 5-year process of McGregor getting ready for Floyd, he still wouldn't have much of a shot. But at least then maybe he goes the distance. Maybe he could land something lucky. For those who think, Stephen A., well, Floyd's not a puncher, McGregor, takes a good punch. You remember Sugar Ray Leonard, the last fight of his career? It came against Hector Camacho, who was not a big puncher and a smaller fighter. Camacho stopped him. Knocked him out because Sugar Ray couldn't block the punches anymore. If you get hit, if fighters with good chins are the fighters who don't get hit on the chin. If you get hit with a bunch of shots whenever the other guy wants, you ain't going to last.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't disagree. You know me, I don't disagree. I think Floyd all day, every day.
Right.
My
Conor
only
won't be able
issue,
to hit him.
I'm only challenging you on the words zero chance.
Yeah, there's always
like when
a
you say
puncher's
zero,
chance.
I'm like Max. I mean, the man can hit.
He can hit.
I mean, he
Conor
can
can
hit
boxing.
and he
Just
can
takes one
take a
punch.
hit.
Conor
and
can
Floyd to knock him out, he's got to come to him. I mean,
zero. What people aren't appreciating, Conor can hit. He's a natural puncher. I've seen him. We've all seen him knock guys out in the octagon going backwards. That is not easy. One shot. He can punch. He has natural ability. But the idea that he will hit Floyd Mayweather is disrespectful to the discipline of boxing. If he was training in boxing for years, exclusively boxing for years, he would have a very hard time hitting Floyd Mayweather. Ask Manny Pacquiao about that. Accurate, excellent top fighters have been doing it for 25 years, can barely touch Floyd.
Molly, let me get this last comment from Max here. Got it. Of course I agree with that. But one point I'll challenge you on, Max. Is it possible that Floyd can take somebody lightly because they are in a totally different class? Like, for example, Pacquiao is not a joke. You had to take that man very, very seriously. Canelo Alvarez, you got to take that man very, very seriously. Madonna is slow, throwing punches from awkward angles, and caught Floyd at the end of that third round.
Quickly, I'll say this. It's a great question. What separated Floyd from most fighters throughout history, even the top pound-for-pound ones, is when he has an opponent that the rest of us complain, oh, Floyd, that guy's a nobody, you should easily beat him. Floyd never feels that way. He always comes into the ring in tip-top condition and takes everyone seriously. That primarily, more than any other reason, is why he's 49-0. That's why.
But it's boxing. One punch, always a puncher's chance.
Also, Molly, I also say McGregor's mouth in the promotion leading up to the fight will ensure that Mayweather will not take him lightly.
No question. And
because he'll be talking, he'll irritate Mayweather.
And if I'm Conor, I'm calling First Take producers right now and getting the loop of Max Kellerman talking and just playing that while I'm training. Coming up, the Lakers appear to be